Hello class, today I'm going to show you how to create a detailed drawing that you're going to PDF to somebody else. Specifically, you're going to PDF your drawings to me. And they're going to be to scale. They're going to be the correct scale. That's the key. So here I have a drawing. This is an inch drawing that I have. The first thing you want to do is import your title block into your drawing, because you don't send this to me or to anybody else. You always send drawings with title blocks on them. To do that, you go to Insert and Insert. You navigate to wherever your border is. In our case, it happens to be on the desktop, and it's called Drawing Border. I'm going to hit Open. You have these options here. It says Insertion Point, Specify on Screen. Scale, Specify on Screen. Right now, we're not going to specify the scale. We're going to let it come in 1:1. Rotation, we're leaving everything alone. The block units, this particular border is in inches, and it knows that. It says units are inches, and its factor is 1, so it's 1:1. When I hit OK, and I move my mouse around, the border is there. My floating with me. I don't want to click until I get roughly to where I want it to be. So I want it to be roughly centered to my object, so I find that position. I click once with my left mouse button, it drops my border in. Now, for today's lecture, Joe was kind enough to loan us his border, so that's why, and his border already has his name in it, and everything's great. Your border, when it comes in, is a block. You've dealt with this already, because your rectangles are blocks. Blocks are lines that are seen as one entity, even though they're a bunch of lines, just like your rectangle command. So if you want to edit the content of this particular border, it's not a smart border, it's just your standard border that you guys created yourselves. That's how we did this. All you have to do is explode it. So you could do X, the letter X, and hit enter, because the first item you'll find when you hit X is explode. So that's the easy part. Just click it, done. Now everything's independent again, and then you can go ahead and like double click on part name and give it the part name, which is figure. Now everything you give me has to be all caps. Figure 4-454, yeah. Shin, that's what we call it. All right, that's the title. Got it? You must have a space, at least one, after your part name and the colon. Okay. Date, you can put in the date that you did it, or today's date, 2/7/19. Scale, now, when you look at this drawing, does it look too small inside the border? It looks okay. Does it look too big inside the border? Looks okay. So you're not crowding the drawing, crowding the border, this being the border right here. It doesn't look like it's crowded, and it doesn't look like it's tiny on the piece of paper. For that reason, this is a subjective statement, what I'm saying. If it's not too big, not too small, fills the page just fine, fill the page, I like to use that term. Just remember, fill the page. If it seems reasonably centered, reasonably associated without any modifications, then the scale is 1:1. Why? Because Joe built when he built his border, he built it based on the fact that it's going to print at 1:1 scale on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, because that's the standard I had you guys follow when you made your border. So the scale for this is 1:1, and it's usually done in this fashion, 1:1. It's usually presented that way. It's usually not presented 1/1. The other presentation I've seen in the field is the word full, F-U-L-L. Same meaning, but 1:1 is much more logical for most companies. Revision, there are no revisions to this. Drawing, drawing number, I guess this is your first drawing you ever did, so we'll just make it 1. Okay, cool. Revisions are after you make corrections to changes I might ask you to make. The only thing that's not done here is the fact that these two center lines are not center lines, right? That is something I haven't lectured on yet. That's line types. But for the purpose of turning in this project that is due next week, this is fine. Okay? Now, how do I send this to my teacher, who refuses to let me print the drawing, right? Because that's what I'm going to tell you. You're not printing. You're not going to print your work. You're going to send it to me as an email, because that's how we do things in the real world. We're digital. Okay? You're sending drawings to a client, not the actual CAD file. Never the CAD file. Got it? If you're sending them the CAD file, it's like sending them the recipe to your secret favorite food. Get it? You don't do that. Then they don't need you anymore, because you did all the engineering work, all the legwork, and you're giving them the CAD work. You never send the client the CAD drawing. You only send them a PDF. So I'm your client. You're not sending me the CAD drawing. You're sending me a PDF. The way to do that is when you go to print, okay, you have the opportunity to print. When you get plot, you have the option, Microsoft Print to PDF. Okay? Just like you do in any other software. What's different is you got to follow a bunch of rules. The rules are the following. Your paper size is letter. What you plot is window. And you click from the corner, literally that intersection, right there, the end point of the upper left corner of your border to the lower left corner of your border. Not outside of it, but literally right on it. You center the plot. You center the plot. And your plot scale is 1 to 1. 1 to 1. Okay? Our plot styles, we're using monochrome. It's always good to say that. Monochrome means black and white. Because in the future, we're going to be using different colors in our drawings. But you're going to monochrome, sending it to me monochrome, black and white. Okay? And before you even think to send it to me, because this little thumbprint preview looks good, you will preview it for yourself first and make sure it looks awesome, which it does. Joe, good job. Right on task. Excellent. Looks good. You hit enter, and then you hit OK, and then it'll print to PDF. The name of the file is the name of your whatever the work is, okay, with your name included. Because if I get all these drawings that all say figure 4 underscore 54 underscore shim, I'm not going to know whose it is, right? So you're going to, at the end of it, you're going to put your name. Okay? That's Joe's last name. So I threw that in there. And then you're going to hit save, and that is what you send to me. Okay? You can send it to me through Blackboard, through your class, or you can just email it to me directly. It's up to you. But that's what you send to me. So the thing you're actually sending to me is this PDF. Hello, come on. Come on, you. Doesn't want to. It's frozen for some reason. But that's the PDF. You're sending me a PDF. You are not sending me a DWG file. All right? And that's what you would do regardless of anybody. That's what you'd want to be doing. And that is how you work with a border. For an inch drawing, because the border that was created is an inch border. The next object we're going to work on is a metric part, and then you're going to see how to deal with that. But that'll be a different video. That's all for now.